listen, don't worry about that costumes. It's for sexual purposes only. Hey, everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Game Skates. Today, and only today, we are here. That's right, to talk about Sonic Frontiers. By the way, I'm not going to clap anymore. I'm going to resist, even though I did in the beginning. But we are here to talk about my spoiler-free review of the game. I have now 100% the game. Obviously, you know, I got every island 100%. I've done it all on stream. It's all captured. It's all on the channel. I've given you every part of it. There's going to be one video that compiles it all. But yeah, I've done my playthrough of the game, and I figured, you know what? Let's sit down. Let's talk about it all, and let's see what's going on with the game. So last time we talked about the game, I had told you, you know, my preview thoughts on it. You know, I'd played the game. I played the first island, most of 2, but now here we are. I've fully beaten the game. It took me about 15 hours to 100%. Now granted, that's obviously like a skill difference between people and how much time you're spending. Like, I'm sure you could probably spend maybe 20 to 25 hours if you really wanted, but yeah, that's my playtime with the game. But yeah, Sonic Frontiers, I mean, let's talk about it. Now that I've beaten it, I feel like with this game, there's a million things I want to talk about. Of course, subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos about this game. But yeah, spoiler 3 thoughts on the game now that I've fully beaten it. I really love this fucking game, and I really love it. I don't even think it can be stated how much like I think this game is so awesome and so dope in so many ways, despite its flaws. You know, it's weird. I feel like because it's so big and so, you know, ambitious in a lot of ways for Sonic, it has more issues. But I think it also has a shit ton of things to love, and I think it's the only 3D Sonic game that doesn't have like, here's the bad hook. Whereas I feel like a lot of 3D Sonic games have that. You know, like with Generations, you have, you know, the story that just doesn't matter, is non-existent. You know, with Colors, you have, you know, a lot of the levels that are 2D that people complain about. I love Colors. That's one of my favorites. With, you know, obviously Unleashed, you know, you have the controversial thing with what's it called, with obviously Adventure 1 and 2. I mean, those games, I feel like if you grew up with them, you have a better sense of, you know, enjoying them and how they play. But I do feel like if you play them nowadays, you know, some of those levels, you know, can be a little frustrating. But I felt like with Sonic Frontiers, playing it from beginning to end, like, besides, you know, a challenge or two that might have been annoying, the entire game just flows super well. Like the open zone, you know, so basically the 3 main open zones, you know, and some of the later ones are so fun to just go around. Like the movement in them is super fun, the gameplay in them is super dope, and honestly, the more I felt like I traversed the islands, the more I felt like I had control over them, and the more I actually love experimenting with the movement, which is something I really recommend for you all. Is like, you know, if you feel like you can't get somewhere, try to get there with the environment. You know, like use a grind rail and jump off with the momentum and boost into the air with a jump to get to that spot, you know, or do something crazy. Like I feel like there's a lot of ways with this game that you can experiment with how you traverse the areas and how you go through them to find what you need to. So overall, when it comes to, you know, the open zone, I really loved it. You know, I know a lot of people say that they wish, you know, the areas were more Sonicified in terms of like something like a Kingdom Valley or something, you know, like a Studiopolis or whatever. But I feel like in general, like I'm just looping this video, by the way, you know, just because it's easier to have up here. But yeah, no, I felt like a lot of ways the open zone just flowed super well, and I don't know, I love traveling through them, and I think they all offered something really distinct from one another, which is what I actually really like too. Is each open zone opens up a lot. Now, granted, if anyone thinks there's really 5 open zones, I would temper those expectations a little bit. It's sort of like, I would say it's like 4.5, you know. I'd say 4.5 basically, you know. I'd say, no, I would really say it's I'm not gonna spoil anything, you know what I mean, but either way you'll find out. But I do think each of them, the 4 at least, the 4 main ones, offer something really distinct. And now let me tell you guys, I was already gushing about the story in my preview video of the game, but I'm all over the story now. Like I'm everywhere with it, man. The amount of respect and care Ian Flynn put into this is incredible. And you know what's funny is, when I think about the story of this game, I really do believe in my heart of hearts that this game felt like a big bandage, you know, that they were like a wound they were healing. And what I mean by that is, it's something that the reviews I don't think understand. I don't even think in my preview of it I really fully comprehended, was how much, how much they really care. Because I knew they cared from the Knuckles dialogue and the Amy dialogue, but when you get to some of the stuff with Tails, when you listen to the Eggman memos, guys, listen to the Eggman memos, go do the fishing game, go in the wiki on that the big area and listen to the Eggman memos. The lore is insane, but the level of how much Ian Flynn and the team respect what came before, and even honestly almost address it. Like, there are things and character changes we've understood about these characters that have almost bothered us for a long time. Obviously Tails being a coward, or Knuckles sort of just being stuck to the Master Emerald, or Amy, just being the love interest. Like, these characters have had these sort of, not like necessarily stereotypes, but like these norms put on them that the series shackled them with for a long time, and it feels like this game wants to break them so badly. And I love what they do with the characters. I love what they do with the world, and even just in general the expanded lore of the series. How many references there are? There's a shit ton of references to things like, this game almost makes so many Sonic games canon, or just references them in a cool way, that, like, I really do feel like the story of this game specifically was really built with fans in mind, which is why I understand if you're not a Sonic guy why you wouldn't really care for it too much. But for me, it meant a lot. And obviously right here you're seeing combat. Let me tell you, man, in my impressions video, I was saying that combat was really flashy and fun, but nothing much to it. I say that still, but I think it's better. Like, I think once you have the whole moveset unlocked and you're doing stuff like punch, punch, punch into the Phantom Rush, into, Cyclone Loops, into Key Blast, like, you are mixing combos and you're parrying and all this stuff. I just feel like everything works super well once the whole gameplay flow of the combat works out there, and I love that stuff. In my opinion, that's where the game ends up really shining. I love it, especially when you find an enemy that's like really dope to just attack over and over and just murder around and all that stuff. I don't know why I'm saying it. Why am I saying it so absurdly like here with this? When you find like an enemy or something that's just so like cool to attack, it's fire to me, man. I love that stuff. So combat overall, I still think is super enjoyable and hype. So you have that story. Cyberspace, again, I hold my ground on Cyberspace. What I thought about it is they are super fun. I actually think the more I play them, the more I'm enjoying them. I want to check out some of the mods. I know there's a mod that fixes some of the physics and stuff, but I feel like for the most part with Cyberspace, they're just fun, short, arcadey style things, and I feel like speedrunning them is really fun though, because it's the air boost. It's the way Sonic's air boost works in this game, that it flings you to an upwards trajectory that's able to get you so many skips in the levels, which is really fire, and I love that stuff. So I think the Cyberspace levels, I love them even more. I think the soundtrack in them is fantastic. The entire thing feels like it's just a club mix. Like, Otani was like, hey, let me make this crazy club mix of original tracks, and it works incredibly well. The way he handled it was fantastic. You're hearing a lot of it in the background right now. So really love Cyberspace. So story, love. Cyberspace, really love. Action, I really love. And music, and the music's fantastic. It's just overall, man, I just felt like with this game, it did so much right. And it's funny when I think about it, right, when I really sit down, I'm like, is this the best 3D Sonic game? I feel like it almost is, and obviously I don't want to jump the gun or make a hasty decision on if it is, but it's like when I really think about it, like, it just does the most super well. Is it maybe the best Sonic game? I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's better than Mania or Sonic 3 and Knuckles or something, but it's easily definitely the most ambitious in the series, and I think the one that the team very clearly had a shit ton of passion about. And obviously I need to talk about the Supersonic segments. Oh my god, bro. You want to talk about nut? You want to talk about the experience of nutting to a game moment? The Supersonic moments are incredible. Like, they really, I thought the first one was insane, but the second one's crazier. The third one's crazy. It's insane. And I don't know. I could not believe what they did. Those are easily the best parts of the game, and I think just some of the coolest shit in the Sonic series by far. Like, no questions asked, by far. You have to experience them. They're worth it, and I love them so much. I think they're fantastic. You have that. Now, I will say, though, the last one, and in general, the ending of the game, I find is like, it's definitely weird. It leaves you more as like a huh than like a oh fuck, that was peak, but it was still really dope. Very emotional too. Like I said, they make you really care about what's going on. So overall, man, like, just again, if I gotta keep it spoiler free because I don't want to go too into this, I would really say if you love Sonic in any way, you should check this game out. If you care about the series even, I think check it out. And it's cool seeing everyone loving this game. There's some people with issues with it, but overall people are just loving the game. It just feels like there's something for everyone. It has, and I can't wait to see how it evolves. And when I say that, Sonic games are so much more than, you know, the launch. It's how much you replay them. It's how the mods end up turning out, the little challenges you could do. Like, there's a lot we still have to talk about and do with this game, and we're gonna get into all of that, you know, as the weeks and days go by. So guys, let me know what you all thought about Sonic Frontiers. Again, I would say I really just adore this game, and thank you everybody who watched the streams and the playthroughs and all that stuff, and they're all there if you missed it, if you want to go see the reactions and all that. So super worth it. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. You're the best. I love you, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.